This weekend, we celebrate the 30th anniversary of Australian touring cars and V8 supercars racing here at Winton Raceway. And who better than to welcome into the studio than the inaugural winner, racing legend Jim Richards, alongside here Russell Ingall and Mark Scaife. Jim, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure, no problem.
The first round here at Winton for the Australian Touring Car Championship way back in 1985, and you won that one by a country mile, I believe.
Must have been lucky.
But what, it was the BMW 635, wasn't it,
Yes,
of the day,
yep,
the JPS car?
Yep.
And you beat your teammate. I think Neville Crichton actually ran second tier that time, didn't he?
Exactly, I think that's right, yeah. No, but the BMWs in those days, in 85, they were virtually a factory-made race car that had been racing in Europe for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So when we got it, it was sorted, prepared, all you had to do was drive it.
And is that easy?
Oh, that's
Like
easy. That's easy part.
Yeah. We've made that look hard.
Hey, one thing I always want to ask you, Rich, I mean, from the inception of touring cars, and you've probably gone the longest of any driver that's from the early days of driving touring cars right up till, well, just before we've switched to the car of the future, the new generation. Any favourites, and what's the difference? Is there a massive difference between the two?
Well, I suppose there is. I mean, you guys know V8 supercars are sort of more difficult to drive. Not harder in any respect, but just difficult because they're different. But I mean, I enjoyed the BMWs, the Nissans, probably more than anything, because I suppose realistically we were the best. I had the best results in those years. Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that if you wanted to increase your lap time, you had to get out and try harder, not change a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what it was like in the old days, But I think I really like the difference between all the different brands and models and makes in the one race.
So when you think about some of those cars, because you've had great memories from, say, 85 with the 635, then you went to the beautiful little M3 in 87, You won the championship, and then you moved into, it was a bit of a punt for you, you went to the Nissan team of the day, Freddie Gibson come and drafted you, paid you an unbelievable amount of money and got you. But when that happened, those cars weren't that good of the day, were they? We had to work very, very hard on that HR31 model, for instance, to be competitive against the Sierras, and then this thing come on board.
No, certainly right. I mean, when I joined you guys in the Nissans, I mean, it wasn't really a punt because I always liked doing something that was a bit different. I didn't want to go and drive a Sierra to be another Sierra driver. The Nissans appealed because they sort of hadn't won. They were still there, and what Fred told me was that he'd make them win, and we did in the end. But I thought the HR31 in particular was just a more powerful M3.
Right, okay, yeah. So that was the car that was sort of that barbershop style livery that we had of the day, and we just got that great vision there of 1992 at Bathurst, which was an unbelievable day in that it was such a dangerous day, number one, wasn't it? I mean, it was probably the wildest day at Bathurst that we've ever seen. No,
it certainly was. I mean, it was very difficult as you're seeing by those clips, but no, listen, it was an enjoyable day in a way because we knew we had the best car for the job, whether it was wet, whether it was dry. We didn't have the best car in the wet on dry tyres, though.
No. So that was the story of the day, because Jim got caught. He said, I've got to come in. They held out one more lap. The torrential rain come down, and you were on slick tyres. That's how you got caught.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't the story of the race. The story of the race was the podium, I reckon.
Oh, well, hang on.
Could forget that.
I got to tell you, the look on your face. I know this has been revamped plenty of times, Jimmy, but the look on your face when you rolled that one out to the crowd. You're a pack of not so nice people. Like the look on your face, you're going, right, where am I going to go? Where's the exit?
Exactly. But the other part that was good, and we were able to fix it up later, was 2002, because 10 years on, we were able to win it for Holden, and you called them a pack of very nice people.
Which they were.
Of course they were. And the interesting thing to note, too, 30 years ago when you raced here in that inaugural race at Winton, there wasn't a Holden in the field, was there? I think there's only 15 cars in that race.
That's right, exactly.
No, you could be right, I didn't think of that,
So you've been coming here for a long time. You've won here, I think, 4 race wins you have here at Winton. What is your affinity with this place? How much do you enjoy coming back here?
Listen, I enjoy it on days like this, which is nice and sunny and shiny, but I don't enjoy it on wet, miserable days. But no, I mean, you just, as a racing driver, the guys will know. You enjoy going to all the tracks, because if you don't like one in particular, you're not probably going to go that good on it. But in the earlier days, we had, good competitive cars, the teams were good, and, and we enjoyed it.
You love this car? The Javelin?
I do like it.
Baby.
Yeah, no, I do like it. The Falcon Sprint is just as good. But we haven't quite got a handle on this one basically yet, but I think it'll come.
This category is so good.
It is,
I mean, it's
yeah,
so competitive, and you've been in it for quite a few years now, and the crowd love it.
No,
I mean,
exactly,
It's for sure. I mean, I won't call it a support event because I don't think that's nice. I think it's got better status than that.
We
you
probably
know?
are, but
No, yeah, but there's so many good drivers in there as well.
no, there isn't. It's a pity you're not in there. You know,
You should.
come down and,
You're
yeah.
almost the right vintage for it. You're
What about you?
Yeah,
What's wrong
Yeah, I
with
mean,
you?
you're not brilliant at the TV stuff, so
Yeah,
you know,
Richo, that's the line of the year. That's the line
Go
of the year.
easy on
No,
him.
hang on, hang on.
Thanks for coming on,
Russell,
Richo. See you later.
Now, Russell, one of the things that you don't know about Richo, because every car that Richo's got is absolutely pristine, right? Everything, it's perfect. So if you go off the road, like firstly, you don't drive them in the rain. The next thing is, if you go off the road, like we've got a little bit of vision of just then,
Yeah.
a bit of mud on that car, Richo.
I hope not.
A bit of mud on it, look.
It's open.
Mud. Look, what's this? Oh, my God. Who's going to
No,
fix that?
It wasn't wet.
Yeah. Well, Richo, we'll let you go and get back to the garage and get it cleaned up because you've got a big weekend coming up. Thank you so much for joining
buddy.
us
Thank
here.
you.
It's great to catch up, and we'll see you throughout the year, of course.